Welcome back to day 20 of Advent of Tess. Today we're working with open triangle stars gapped, and this is a motif that I've used in many different tessellations that I actually figured out back when I was designing by fiddling with the paper and didn't know why it worked. So today we're going to do the version of this motif, the open triangle stars, with rhombi on the back side. Let's dive in. We've got our 16-fold grid, and we're going to put a closed hexagon right in the middle. I'm getting each pleat set up. I'm not running them all the way through, I'm just running them towards the center and outlining that central hexagon of grid triangles there. I'm also making sure that all of my mountain folds go straight to the corner of my hexagon. So with that setup in place, I'm going to lay everything down flat, poke the middle, grab three sides, twist her around, and then work on rehabilitating the twist now that it's down, and check on the back if I need to flatten anything more, and I do not. So I'm gonna smooth everything out so we can get to the open triangle twists. So just like the closed triangle version of this that we've been working on the last 2 days, we're going to be having the hexagon so that we can place our new twist once, like the valleys, one spacing apart. These will be overlapping twists. Mountain one spacing further. Unlike the closed triangle version though, we're going to put an open triangle there. So we've got our target triangle of interest. And again, I'm opening the pleat from the hexagon before I run my mountain through for my third edge of this target triangle, because the grid lines on the far side of folded pleats are deceiving. So I'll get that twist in place, open my hexagon back out, shift to the next grid line. Since we're doing our rhombi on the back side, we will be going in a clockwise direction. So I'll I'll fold my hexagon in half, set up for my open triangle twist, and let the pleat from the old triangle stay closed, causing a pleat overlap as I squash my new triangle twist. With that in place, I'll open my hexagon back out, fold it in half on the next pleat over, and do the same thing, setting up my open triangle twist with the pleat overlap and squashing it into place before opening my hexagon back out, folding it in half again on a different pleat, setting up my next densely spaced open triangle, and squash, and fold that pleat back out, keep working my way around, fold the next open triangle, and finally, on our last pleat, we have a decision to make. And that decision is, do we introduce a new fold into this squashed triangle or not? So we can just open and close the hexagon firmly, but not cause a new pleat in the triangle. Or we can just squash it all down as we set up our next triangle. Up to you. I just want to point out that we will get a new fold that's not on a grid line if we fold through these triangles, unlike when we were folding the closed triangles, where folding them in half just was already on a grid line. So from here, we can set up our new triangle twist. And what I want to do here is reverse the pleat ordering between this twist and our first triangle. So I'll run the valley through and the mountain through first, and then let the old pleat close on top of it, and then set up the third direction of my new open triangle before squashing. And then I can open my hexagon back out on top. Just like with the closed triangle star, we can layer this any way we like. We can have the triangles on top of the hexagon. I like to fold the triangles under the hexagon so that we have fewer layers underneath and I get a cleaner squash. Next up, we've got those rhombi to put in. So I'm going to flip my paper over and start putting in rhombi. The through line, once again, is going to be on the lines going around, and the diagonals are going to be the lines going towards the center. Another cue that we have here is that the valley of the new diagonal pleat goes straight to the corner of our paper. And that will be true as long as we're working with a aligned grid on a hexagon that isn't just limited to the 16-fold grid. And so we're going to open up each of these pleat overlaps. It doesn't matter what order we do them, and put in our rhombus twists. Could we do open rhombi here? Absolutely. But it wouldn't fit on the 16-fold grid since we're already right at the edge. So there we have all 6 of our rhombi around our open triangle star. And it's perfectly framed as a hexagon. Isn't that neat? And curiously enough, if we do the rhombi on the front, it perfectly frames a hexagon too, but the gap spaces end up being in the middle of an edge instead of looking like they're right at the corner. So, fun fact and a preview of what we'll fold tomorrow. Happy folding, and I'll see you then.